Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am going to be showing you guys 4 mid to high level money making methods that you guys can use to make some pretty good GP per hour. These methods are going to range from 5 mil all the way up to 15 mil per hour. So you should be able to find at least one of these methods that will work for you. Now, I will be putting all 4 of these methods in the description down below, as well as timestamps, so if you guys want to jump around, you can do that. Anyway guys, I really hope you do enjoy, and let's jump into it. Now, starting off with our first method, we have making the Waterfiend binding contracts, and there is really 2 steps to this method. But first off, there are also some requirements. So you will need 68 archaeology, which is a requirement to complete the Dagon Buy mystery. That is basically the final mystery of the Infernal Source. So you will need to have that completed to do this method so you can actually make the binding contracts. 50 summoning is also required. And then recommended is 90 ranged or higher. That is so that you will be able to kill the Waterfiends efficiently. They are weak to range, and I wouldn't recommend any other combat style, so you will primarily want to be using ranged at Waterfiends. You can make around 15 mil per hour doing this method. However, there are a few steps to it. So we're going to jump into the first step, which is actually making the binding contracts. Now, each binding contract, as you guys can see, is made by using 2 Blood of Orcus and 2 Hellfire Metal. So you will want to create some presets so that you can make these binding contracts. You'll want the blue charms, pouches, and spirit shards with you so you can make the binding contracts. They cost right around 29k to make for each of these contracts. But then when you go ahead and turn them into the Waterfiend contracts, they cost right around 57k right now. So you're going to be making about 27k profit per Waterfiend that you do kill, and you can kill a lot of them per hour, so you are going to be able to make quite a bit of GP per hour doing that. The only downside about it is that it does cost blue charms to make these binding contracts, and blue charms, they can be difficult to obtain, so that is probably the one thing that is quite costly with this method. So the next part of this method is just going to be going to the ancient caverns to kill the Waterfiends. They are a pretty easy creature to kill, especially if you are using ranged. And as I mentioned, you are going to be making about 25 to 27k profit for each of these kills. I recommend bringing some magic notepaper just so you can note the binding contracts once they are made. That way you can just stay here for a long period of time. Now, another thing about this method is that you can kill right around 600, maybe even 700 of these per hour. So you will want to have a lot of binding contracts made before you go here, basically just depending on how long you're planning on staying. Another great thing about this method is that you also do get a lot of XP per hour. Waterfiends is actually one of the better places to train ranged, and you should be able to get around 700k ranged XP per hour doing this method as well. So if you guys aren't already 99 ranged, this might be a great money-making method to help you guys get there. Now, moving on to our next money-making method, it is one that I have done before, but it is even better right now. And that is killing the smoke Nihils and then going ahead and making the Nihil pouches. So the requirements are 87 summoning, that is to make the Nihil pouches, so that is definitely a requirement that you will need. 76 Slayer just to kill the Nihils, and then Fate of the Gods, of course, so you can access them. Recommended is 81 Divination. This will allow you to transmute the Avianti Talons, for example, into the other 3 ingredients to make the other Nihil pouches as well. Sometimes they are a bit more profitable, so having 81 Divination would be really helpful for this. Also recommended is 80 Ranged. I recommend using ranged against the Nihils. That is for a few reasons. First of all, they are weak to ranged, and then also it does give you that distance. You don't need to be right on top of them to kill them. And also Corruption Shot. It is a really great ability to use here. It'll allow you to damage the other Nihils without making it so they are aggressive to you. So that is another great thing to use here, just so you can weaken the other Nihils, and you can kill them pretty fast if they are low on health before they get their special out. So Nihils are located in the pit, going to the world gate. So as I mentioned, you will want to primarily be fighting the smoke Nihils. So each of these 4 Nihils, they do have their own special attack or mechanic to them. The smoke Nihils basically is a mechanic where it will decrease your stats. Now, if you are using overloads, you will bypass this mechanic completely. That is because overloads make it so your stats have a static boost, meaning they cannot decrease. So if you do have any type of overload, you will be completely safe from the smoke Nihil mechanic. And I would primarily focus on the smoke Nihils. Now, as I mentioned, Corruption Shot, it is a great ability to use here because it will hit some of the other Nihils. And it will actually lower their health enough so that you can kill them before they use their mechanic. So if you do see some other Nihils that are quite low on health, definitely go ahead and kill them. Hopefully you do get their special drops so you can make the Nihil pouch for them as well. Now, since you are primarily going to be killing the smoke Nihils, you're going to want to pick up all of the Avalanche Talons. That is going to be the most profitable drop. You're actually going to be making right around 200k every time you get one of these drops, and they're only uncommon, so you are going to be getting a lot of them. That is why this method can easily make you 8 mil per hour. All of the Nihil pouches, they're selling for over 200k right now, so it is a really profitable method. Now, once you are done killing the Nihils, it will be time to figure out which Nihil pouch is the most profitable. And you can use Elder Energy to actually transmute the ingredients into the various other Nihils. So for example, the Ice Nihil pouch was the most profitable at this time. So I transmuted my Avalanche Talons into the Icy Feathers, so then I can go ahead and make the Ice Nihil pouches instead for more profit. Moving on to our next money-making method, we have hunting Greenwalls for about 8 mil per hour. Requirement is 77 hunter. Also recommended is 71 summoning. That's for the Arctic bear pouch. It will basically just allow you to catch a little bit more Greenwalls per hour. The medium Tiron tasks are actually highly recommended. There's something I don't even have done, but they will make this method incredible. If not, you will have to use bait on your box traps. So if you have the medium Tiron tasks completed, you won't need bait at all. It'll make this method a lot easier and much more profitable. Now, for this method, you will want to be hunting the Greenwalls in Anachronia. As you can see on the map here, they're located on the dots there. There's 5 of them. So you can head up there through the agility course and then start hunting them. Now, for this method, I would recommend you guys bring some scentless flasks. This will allow you to catch some Greenwalls a little bit more effectively. As I mentioned, you don't need Pawyaw meat if you do have those medium Tiron tasks. Otherwise, you will have to bait each individual trap, and it is just a lot more time consuming, and also you will need to go bank and get more to bring back. So this method isn't really recommended with the Pawyaw meat, and you will really want to try and have those tasks completed. But otherwise, this method is a pretty good method. You are going to be getting the Greenwall spikes from the Greenwalls. And these Greenwall spikes, they cost right around 1,300 coins each, but you're going to be getting sort of like 15 to 25 per capture. So you're going to be getting a lot of these Greenwall spikes. I would estimate around, 6k per hour or 5.5k per hour. So you are expecting to make, 7 to 8 mil per hour doing this. And these Greenwall spikes, they're in high demand. They're used for the super ranging potions in order to make them to extreme ranging potions. So they're highly needed for overloads, basically. So they're always in demand. Yeah, that is basically it for this method. You're just going to want to be hunting the Greenwalls. You'll get around 200,000 Hunter XP as well. So it's not bad for training Hunter. But it is also an excellent money-making method. And so this next money making method is shifting tombs. The only requirements are level 50 in all of the skills listed. So it isn't a major requirement. You'll only need about 100,000 XP in each of these skills. So it is sort of a mid-level moneymaker. You can make around 5 mil per hour doing this, and basically you're just going to be going through shifting tomes at Menethos. You will want to be looting as many chests as possible. That's going to be the main objective. You'll basically want to bypass most of everything else and just loot those chests. And as you guys can see, the loot from the chests include the Feather of Amat. You'll be getting these every time, 5 to 25 of them. So that's going to be 9k to 45k profit every time. But as you guys can see, the real moneymaker here is getting that offhand Khopesh. It's worth right around 97 mil right now, and you have a 1 in 800 chance at getting it when looting these chests. You should be able to loot around, let's say, 60 to 100 of these chests per hour pretty easily, depending on how good you are at it and how much you're actually focusing on the method. So you can make well over 5 mil per hour, just depending on how fast you are at doing so. So to start this method, you will want to go to the shifting tombs. You can use one of the Menethos shifting tombs teleport tabs. To go here, you're going to want to go in solo. Now, if you haven't done shifting tombs before, it's basically sort of like a dungeon crawler type thing where you're going to be looting chests, and you can also smash vases for corruption. Your primary objective is going to be looting these chests, so you will have that chance at that Khopesh. You can also smash these vases as you're going through the tomb. Basically, it will give you some crafting XP as you're going through it. So I would recommend you guys do that. Now, as you can see in this tomb, there is only one chest. So you can either teleport out once you get that one chest, or you can head to an exit if you do see one, just to save a teleport tablet. And then you will want to go back in and just focus on getting these chests. Now, you can have some tombs that have 0 chests. For those, just teleport out and retry it. But then you can also have some that have up to 4 chests. So you'll want to make sure that you get each and every chest in the tomb before leaving. And that way you will be able to maximize the amount of chests that you are getting per hour. Yeah, basically that is it for this method. You're just going to want to be rushing through these tombs, getting as many chests as possible. Of course, abilities like Surge and Bladed Dive, they're highly recommended for this, just to make it so you can go through the tomb a bit faster. If you do also have the mobile perk, that would be helpful as well. Also the Endurance Relic, that might be something that you could use. It'll make it so you have basically unlimited run energy. But personally, I didn't find a problem with the run energy when going through these dungeons. And so that is basically it for this method. Just continue going through these tombs, looting these chests in hope of getting that Khopesh, which is worth about 97 mil. Anyway guys, that is all I have for you in this video. I really hope you found this video helpful, and hopefully at least one of these 4 money-making methods will be useful for you. They are some pretty good ones, and I tried to have a variety of them for you guys to choose from. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content. I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace.